are now live. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the first episode of our Rime of the Frostmaiden playthrough. If you didn't catch the session 0, we did in 2 weeks. Let me tell you a little bit, 2 weeks ago, let me tell you a little bit about what we're doing here. We are going to be playing through the published D&D module, Icewind Dale Rime of the Frostmaiden, which I, Celeste Konowich, had the privilege of being a writer for. So I am very, very excited to be running all of these fine folks through this awesome campaign. Icewind Dale Rime of the Frostmaiden is a horror campaign. There are going to be some dark themes, some spooky themes, some frosty themes. We do have content warnings that are going to be popping up in the chat here. So if any of those triggers might be an issue for you, this may not be the stream for you. I just want to say right off the bat. But welcome everybody so much. My name is Celeste Konowich, and I'm going to be your dungeon master.
And I'm Joe. I'm playing Gob, your North fighter.
Katie, I'm going to be playing Minerva Tinkerbobble, your old human wizard.
I'm Nassim, and I'm playing Xena Arendi, your Kalishtar cleric.
I'm Sage, and I will be your dazzling druid, Inga Salenin.
And I'm Vincent, your changeling warlock, Veronica Cartel.
Yes. Oh my gosh. We did so great on those intros, everybody. Congratulations. Wow. This game is already starting off great. I'm sure it won't get harder from here at all. But before we dive into the action, because we don't have a recap, this is the very first episode ever, I do want to tell you about a very awesome dice giveaway we are going to be doing. Since we have Joe, RPG Dice himself, here on the stream, we are going to be running some dice giveaways for you over the course of this stream, including one tonight. So the rules of these giveaways, basically, about halfway through the stream, we are running for about 2 hours, so halfway through, we are going to announce a code word, and you have to type that code word into the chat, and then at the very end of the stream, we will be pulling a winner. So you have to stick around halfway through to enter, and then till the very end to win some sweet, sweet dice. And let me go ahead and show you that set. Boom! Do you want to talk a little bit about these beauties, Joe?
Sure. Yeah, this is a set called Mirror Image. It's got all sorts of beautiful, reflective goodness held within. It's a little hard to, picture, as is tradition.
We've got the picture up on the screen for folks to look at.
Very good. Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't disappoint.
Woo! All right. So make sure to stick around to win these handcrafted beauties. But that's that. I mean, how are we all feeling? Are we ready to get frosty, to get into this story, everybody? Yeah.
Ready and ready to go. I can't even say it today. Let's go.
Just so ready to go.
So ready.
Excellent. Yeah, I mean, let's just do it. Let's get started. I should, I guess, also mention for folks who are tuning in, because this is a limited run series, we are starting at level 3. So we are not starting at the very, very beginning of this adventure. We are starting, our heroes have been working together for some time. They've gone on a couple missions. They are all very familiar with Icewind Dale, with the region itself, and the horrors that reside here. So with that, let's start things off. It is another beautiful day in Icewind Dale because because as a reminder, the sun no longer rises in Icewind Dale since Arl the Frostmaiden has cast her spell, this eternal winter that hangs in the sky above like the northern lights. So as you are making your way down this snowy, ice-covered path towards the town of Caer-Konig, your way is barely lit. Again, it's this perpetual sort of twilight state that happens when it is early in the morning. This is the brightest it ever gets. So it's that sort of hazy gray punctuated by those beams of green and purple from the dancing lights up in the sky. And you can see at the end of this pathway, which you've been walking on for a couple hours now, the very quaint little town of Caer-Konig. So Caer-Konig is one of the 10 towns that you find in the 10 towns of Icewind Dale. It is the town that is furthest to the northeast of Icewind Dale, kind of much further away than the central kind of cluster of the rest of these towns. And Caer-Konig was so named because once upon a time there was a castle here, a Caer, and it fell down. It was destroyed by orc raiders. But the people of Icewind Dale are tenacious, if nothing else. So they built a city on top of the ruins of this castle. So as you're approaching, you are bordering this frozen lake, Loch Dinishir, which is one of the large 3 kind of fishing lakes in Icewind Dale. And you can see that the city itself is built sort of like an amphitheater. Town, not city. There's 150 people who live here. It's built like an amphitheater. So all of these layers of these like tiny little huts and buildings that have just been stacked on top of each other. And all around the outside of this town, there are the broken stones and jagged fallen rocks of this place. And all of you, you've started to make somewhat of a name for yourselves in Icewind Dale. I think we kind of covered in session 0, all of you are interested in dealing with this problem that has befallen Icewind Dale, this eternal rime which has been cast over the sky, throwing the natural world of Icewind Dale out of balance, endangering the lives of all of the creatures and humanoids who live here in Icewind Dale. So as you are heading to Caer-Konig, I guess I want to go around and kind of invent the reason that we have been coming to this town in particular. I know all of you, we sort of discussed session 0, maybe like looking for leads of a place to even start. Some of you have roots here in Icewind Dale that potentially we could explore. Does anyone have a good reason why they would be heading towards this town in particular?
Maybe we're investigating some rumors of some strange magical phenomena.
Yeah, you did definitely hear some rumors in 10 towns. Apparently, there are thieves, invisible thieves, that have been plaguing Caer-Konig. That's one of the rumors that has been going around. So the people of Caer-Konig, because they are especially so isolated from other people, They are just really not doing well. With the lake frozen over, being unable to fish, the roads so snowed in that wagons can't move to and from. All people are hearing are these bizarre rumors coming out of Caer-Konig. So that's certainly one reason you could have been drawn there. Let me go ahead and I'm going to throw up the map of Icewind Dale too, so you all can take a look at what's going on here. Because here we go. Boom. All right. So you all should be able to see that. So if you're, there it is again.
There we go.
Yeah. So Caer-Konig is this spot all the way out to the northeast here. So you can see that the rest of the towns themselves are more in a cluster, kind of a circle. But Caer-Konig is all the way out here. It's in the shadow of Kelvin's Cairn, which is a very large mountain where a valley is at its base. And that's where like all the mountain dwarves live in Icewind Dale. They usually keep to themselves and have their own kind of societies and mines in the area. But just all of this beyond is wide open land. This is where like the Regig tribes, wander and live. This is potentially where your family comes from, Inga. You would probably be somewhat familiar with the space, but it is this huge open space of just wilderness.
I definitely feel like since she probably lives primarily off of like a vegetable habit of like pulling, like much in the way that elks do of like eating the bark off of trees when you really have to, but I think they're like primarily like a fishing people also, and so definitely coming into the lake, and they've definitely swapped in for goods and picking up lures and lines and poles and everything, and trading fish and getting them smoked. So I think she's definitely probably familiar here.
Yeah, and I think maybe you would have a lead then that there is a place here called the Frozen Far Expeditions, which is pretty much the best general store in all of Icewind Dale. They have a lot of great goods that come in there because they trade with the Regig tribes. They trade sometimes with the Goliaths up in the mountains. They are one of the more well-stocked places in Icewind Dale to get these kind of supplies. You also know that it's run by an old adventurer named Atennis. We'd probably be familiar with him. He's been here forever. He is starting to get ancient by human standards. So he doesn't really go out much anymore, but he does have a partner named Jartha, who is a mountain dwarf, and she is a very talented wilderness guide. So you can hire her out to lead you anywhere in Icewind Dale. She does sell her services doing that. So you are probably familiar with Frozen Far. So maybe it's about time you stopped by there and got supplies anyway.
We probably had a bad run-in with some mean cats and need some bandages.
Yeah, sure. You could have, definitely fought a bunch of these Crag Cats that inhabit Icewind Dale. They are nasty characters. I think actually I can. Oh, there's a really cute art of a Crag Cat. Let me just show you. I mean, it's not cute. It's terrifying.
But you still want to snuggle with it,
But
so
you still love it. Here. Okay, I'm going to show that on here. Here's the Crag Cat. So, yeah, you were just fighting these guys. So, yeah, they're big. They're nasty. They're actually monstrosities. That's how much bigger they are than just normal beasts.
This is how most cats see themselves.
Yeah, this
realistically.
Definitely
Don't
my
they
cat.
have, like,
certainly
like
does.
like protection against magic or some sort?
Yes, their hides repel magic. So I think
Oh.
it was a pretty nasty fight. So maybe, you're looking to resupply and stock up. So with these reasons in mind, you have come to Caer-Konig. And as you are walking into this kind of, the main street of town, this tier that has the most number of businesses and houses, let me read. Text box. First text box. Are we ready? The town sits quietly at the foot of Kelvin's cairn. A few bundled up people shuffle between snow-battered houses, keeping their heads down, barely bothering to give you a look as you walk past them. A pile of snow stirs as you pass it, and someone hidden beneath it suddenly stands. The figure looks around and yells, "Who goes there? Is it thieves? Have I found those creeping bastards?" When he pulls down the scarf covering his face, you see it is a silver dragonborn holding onto an empty wine bottle as if it were a weapon. He belches, grins at you, and says, "Pardon my manners, bit jittery with all the thieving going on. I'm Trovis, the town's speaker." And he kind of holds out a clawed hand towards you all, still in this pile of snow. And all of the people kind of walking by on the street, they don't even seem to pay attention to this behavior.
More like a town drunk.
You young man.
My goodness, the town speaker. A pleasure to meet you.
It's a pleasure. Welcome to Caer-Konig. So you're not thieves?
No, sir. We just got into town.
Yep.
Nods. Sitting in the snow pile.
Maybe we ought to get you inside. You look cold.
I don't get cold. I'm a dragonborn.
Oh, okay then.
He looks at you. He does have the shining silver scales of a silver dragon, which you would know breathe cold. So maybe he's telling the truth, but it probably isn't good for anyone to be sitting in a bank of snow for that long.
Can I ask what you're doing in the snowbank there?
Oh, well, the town has some thievery troubles, and no one's seen anything, so I've started doing these nightly patrols, just keeping my eye out, just watching. I'm gonna stop these criminals, and his two fingers are sort of bobbing as he's looking at you.
We've heard rumors that these thieves are invisible. Is this true? How do you expect to catch invisible thieves if you cannot see them?
Oh, you know a lot. of things. Yeah, well, I mean, maybe they're invisible. Nobody's seen them, which isn't the same thing as them being invisible.
A fair point.
Are you here to help?
That was the plan. Yes.
Okay, then, well, just the other day, the lantern over the northern lights, it was stolen, and Corey won't let me hear the end of it because I haven't been able to find those responsible, so, I mean, not yet, but I have a knack for this stuff. Like a, steel trap.
Oh, yeah.
But maybe you should talk to Corey. She might be able to tell you more.
And where might we find this Corey?
I'll go. Help me up. And he holds up his hands.
No.
Nose goes.
Inga will help.
Yeah, and you see this dragonborn who pops out of the snow. I mean, he cuts a very impressive, like, 7-foot tall figure. Just looking at him, you see, there's scarring on his scales, a very, like, burly frame. So this man was probably in great shape once, maybe even an adventurer. But now he's clearly fallen on some hard times. So you pull him out of the snow and he brushes it off. He's like, thanks. Let's go to the Northern Lights. It's inn. It's cute.
Oh.
Well, young man, I think that your hiding spot has been found now that you've popped out during the day. So maybe next time you stay somewhere cozy and warm and look out a window.
That might be good. That might be
You're
good.
gonna catch cold. Come on now.
Yeah, and he starts to kind of bob his way down the streets of Caer-Konig.
Whoa.
Yep. Whoa. Yeah, it's tiered roads, so you gotta like kind of keep him. And at the very, very bottom, there is like the icy lake. So if anyone were to fall, they would just roll like down and slide onto the ice, which he will tell you because it's definitely never happened to him, but he has seen people do it.
Oh, yeah.
And he keeps muttering a lot about Caer-Konig and the town. Half of it is decipherable, the other really isn't. But after a very short walk, you get towards a block of buildings that look more like, shops and things of that nature. And you do see that there is a building, a stone building there that has this lovely painted sign over it called the Northern Light. And you also see that hanging below it is like this large kind of iron fixture, like where you would hang a lantern, but there's nothing currently there.
Scene of the crime.
Yeah, it was real pretty. It changed colors.
How high is the lantern, I guess, off the ground? Like, how tall would you have to be?
It's like maybe 10 feet or so. It wouldn't be hard to get down, like if you were to hit it with like a pole or something. So,
Okay.
Not a real like tough caper to accomplish. And this dragonborn Trovis just walks into the inn, like he's been there a million times. And as you all kind of step inside, you see that there is a very tidy, well cared for inn in front of you. The inn appears to be mostly empty. A young woman looks up at you as you enters, gives Trovis a chastising smile, and says, "Trovis, did you fall asleep outside again? I'm telling you, one day you're going to have to stop relying on the kindness of strangers." And she kind of looks behind you all and gives a smile and a wave. The woman then opens a door into what looks like a kitchen, and she calls out, "Would you heat up something for Trovis? He's been out patrolling again." And you hear like a gruff, like, from the kitchen. And she looks at you all. "Welcome to Caer-Konig. Please have a seat. Thank you so much for rescuing Trovis."
Not at all. That's what we do.
That's it's nice to hear. A lot of folks Well, kindness is in short supply these days, and she comes around the counter and kind of like puts her hands on the Dragonborn and directs him over towards like a burning fireplace and sits him down in a well-worn but comfortable chair. And he kind of burps again and slumps in front of the fire.
You wouldn't happen to be Corey, would you?
Oh, no, I'm Allie. Corey's my sister. But she's in the back. She'll be right out. But welcome. What brings you to Caer-Konig? Are you looking for rooms or a place to stay?
I look to the rest of the party. We're passing through.
Oh,
maybe.
We'll let
Maybe.
you know when we get tired if we're looking for rooms.
Oh, that's good. Well, unfortunately, I wouldn't recommend staying here too long. Things have a nasty habit of going missing lately.
So we
Like a
hear.
Go on, Miss Corey.
Oh, Allie, sorry. Corey's my sister.
I forget I'm old.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, do you want to sit down? And she'll pull out like a chair for you. All of you,
Don't
please.
mind if I do.
We have some stew on the kettle. We have some beers.
Yes, please,
okay.
to all of that.
All right, wonderful. Just a gold piece, and I'll set you all up.
I got this one, kiddos.
Thank you, Minnie.
Anytime, sweetheart.
Always taking care of us.
That's beers for the table. Any food at all?
I'll have a stew, please. Thank you.
Oh, of course.
2 stew.
1, 2. Okay.
3.
3.
I'm on a diet.
She laughs and clearly doesn't know what to make of you. And she goes over to the same kitchen door and is like, that's gonna be 3 bowls of stew and beers for the table. And you hear another like kind of grunting sound and the sound of maybe like a wooden spoon whacking something very aggressively. And she's like, sorry, things are just a little bit tense around here. The lantern gone, and well, we don't get many people coming in, so it's great to have patrons. It's great. With the roads frozen up, it's been tough all around.
I believe
What?
it.
What are things that have gone missing?
Oh, I mean, all kinds of things. Well, obviously the lantern, which is a shame since we've had it in the family for generations. I know somebody had some goats stolen. Apparently there was a bag of pearl beads that was also taken. I guess it's sort of an odd collection of things, but you know, we keep finding these tracks, and nobody ever knows who makes them. So it has everybody on edge.
Is there a specific time when these things go missing?
I guess at night. Well, since nobody sees them, we assume it's at night. Though it's so dark all the time, honestly, I guess it could be any time of day. I don't know. Some of us think that, you know, maybe times are hard all around. Maybe the dwarves are coming in from Kelvin's cairn. Maybe they're taking things. Who really knows?
What are these tracks that are made in the snow?
Oh, they look like footprints, and they're a little bit smaller, and, well, you know, people keep saying the dwarves again. And it's at this point that the door to the kitchen swings open with a burst, and a stern-looking woman enters, holding a steaming bowl of soup. She places the bowl down in front of those of you who ordered it, and she says, "No dwarf did this. Someone would have spotted him, caught him. No, there's something more going on. Besides, what use do hungry dwarves have for a lantern?" And she just looks at Allie, who was just saying this to you, and, like, it's one of those, like, bitch, please, like, kind of looks. And you see that the two are very similar in appearance. They might be related.
Might be.
Might be related.
Got a point. Can't blame everything on dwarves.
Did this lantern have...
Lantern...
Oh,
Oh,
no.
I think we're about to ask the same question.
Right, probably.
Did this lantern have any special properties?
Literally what I was thinking,
Yeah.
darling.
And the stern woman, you know, sort of looks at you. No, it just changed different colors. I don't know why somebody would have wanted it. It doesn't make any sense.
That's still technically a special property.
I mean, I guess it works like a lantern, so...
Lower those standards.
How long ago did this lantern go missing?
A couple days ago, but, you know, it's over the last week or so, all of these weird things have been going missing, so... But the tracks started even before that.
Goats, pearl beads, and a lantern. It almost sounds like a kleptomaniac. I don't see a pattern here.
These
Well-
all sound like things that are perhaps special to each of these individuals they were taken from.
I don't know about that. I don't know how attached people are to their goats, but maybe...
It can be very attached.
Look, if you're here to help, if you're looking to do a good deed, I'd be happy to show you the freshest set of tracks. There's some right behind the inn now.
Oh, yes, I would love to examine these.
Okay, 1 second.
Right after Stu.
Yeah. And Allie is, you know, in the corner, like, just waiting, like, because her sister has totally dominated the conversation. She's like, if you did find the lantern, we would be more than happy to, you know, give you free rooms and board and free beer, whatever it takes.
A free room, you say?
I'm
here for it.
We can't really offer you much more, especially in the way of money, times of... Well, you know.
Everyone, we better find this lantern. Grandma Minnie's purse does have a bottom.
Okay.
I guess lead the way. I take my stew bowl and carry it with me.
Just finish it. Don't
Just
take
finish
the
it.
bowl outside.
She will.
Go, come.
The older sister will stare at you the entire time, waiting for you to
I'll
finish.
bring it back.
All right. Yeah, so she will lead you out of the inn and kind of around the back of the northern light here. And you see that there is a trail, prints in the snow that lead up and out towards the big snowy plain, sort of in the direction of Calvin's cairn.
How big are the tracks?
Yeah, so they look, you would say about dwarf size. They are roughly like humanoid footprints. It looks like a single creature made these tracks. And the tracks kind of circle the inn and then just head off.
What are you thinking? I ain't seen nothing.
Can I make
like
a survival check?
Yeah, definitely. Go ahead and roll. First roll. Oh my god. First roll.
That is a 14.
Okay, so looking at the tracks, you can definitely confirm that these are Dwarven tracks. They are just the perfect size, shape, and weight. You can also probably tell that this dwarf in particular wasn't carrying a lot of heavy gear on them, since the tracks don't press too far down into the snow. You would also know that these tracks are probably pretty recent, because snowfall is quite frequent in this area, so probably from the night, like maybe just a couple hours before dawn.
These were from perhaps not too long ago. Snowfall, often definitely dwarf track. You can tell by shape of boot and weight distribution of how it plunges into snow, and they look like they're probably carrying small load, ran away very quickly.
Good to know. Is there anything in the particular direction that we can see, or are they going towards the mountain?
Yeah, so you can see, I mean, the mountain is still, a couple miles away from where you are, but you can see the outlines of the peak in between, the general frost and darkness. And they seem to lead off, in that direction, which is really just kind of open wilderness.
Well, we at least know where to go, so it's just a matter of getting there and, not dying.
I swear to gods, if we find another fucking cat, I'm going to lose my mind.
It wasn't so bad.
I hated them before when I was allergic, and then when they repelled my spells, I decided I was done with the beasts.
Excuse me, Miss Corey. Are there any dwarves in town that may have an insight?
I mean, there's Jartha. She works at Frozen Far. She's a guide. But I mean, she's lived in town for a long time. I'm sure she wouldn't have anything to do with this, but I don't know. She might know more.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
If you are also going out there, you might want to pick up some dogs, maybe a sled, because so.
Yeah. All right.
Anyway, yeah, and she it's very cold out here, so she kind of stamps her feet, and whenever you all are done talking, she'll just turn about and walk back into the inn.
Hot stew, cold.
It's a
room
stew
temperature
cube.
beer.
Yes, so many different temperatures.
Just takes it out of the bowl with a spoon and just starts licking it like a popsicle. It's great.
Yum. Yeah. So it is probably like 10, 11 a.m. at this point here. So you definitely know Frozen Far will be open if you wanted to visit there. And Allie, Corey just walks back into the kitchen after, this exchange. But Allie, lets you know if you want to hang out here during the day, or wait for nightfall or morning after, whatever, you're welcome to hang out here.
Well, that's much appreciated. Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Here's your bowl back. I hand it off.
Thank you.
Goodness.
It was delicious.
Yeah, it
Well,
was
shall we
pretty
go?
good.
Well, shall we go and talk to the dwarf?
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. I'm full. Yeah.
Exit stage left.
Saunter off, but wish the tavern keeper that a fine night. We'll be back, probably, maybe.
I hope so.
Hopefully.
Maybe.
It'd be really great if you did. Bring back the lantern, please.
You have to keep local businesses alive in this time.
We're heroes. We keep small businesses alive. Yes.
Oh no.
All right. Well, I do know that since we all have some connection to this area, we know that near the mountain there's also that Dwarven Valley, right?
Mm-hmm. Right at the base of Kelvin's Cairn. So I mean, the tracks could certainly be interpreted as walking towards that Dwarven area, towards the mountain, or just generally off into the wilderness.
Gotcha.
Well, it's a little stuffy, but that's my
Let's
opinion.
It's just my opinion.
Just my opinion.
I mean, to each their own, but I feel like we should ask if Jotha knows anything about the Dwarven Valley, if they're, going through some kind of hard time, like I'm sure everybody is here, but if it's particularly bad there, it'd be good to get some insight before we walk into there and we get our pantaloons stolen by some thief.
Happened one time.
What? And you'll
I'm
never
sorry,
live
I
it
didn't mean to
down.
bring it up.
Fine. It's fine.
Sorry, Gob.
So embarrassing.
Trailblaze, as my face goes a little red. Snow chest high, probably.
Aw.
Invest in a belt. It's fine.
No,
No.
I've told you.
I hate belts. I was trying to
Don't like
say.
to be constricted.
Finds my
Right.
character.
I was trying to see. There's a very good art of Torvis just asleep outside. I will
nice.
try to find that as you are heading across town. Again, very small town, not hard to find these locations. So almost like just down the way, you can see that there is the general store of Caer-Konig called Frozen Far Expeditions, again in a painted sign above the door. You can also see that there are some barrels stacked outside, all kinds of different goods hung in the window. So pretty well-stocked general store from your point of view here.
Was there anybody out and about as we were passing
Yeah, there are a few like bundled up, miserable looking people walking from place to place. These people do not meet your eye. They don't seem to be interested in talking to strangers.
Fine.
Not that nice people
Fine.
here.
Yeah, you're getting the set. It's not nice. People are suffering, and it is a little more unfriendly than it probably would be.
Bunch of miserable bastards. I can understand.
It's so cold. It's so hard to be nice when you are so cold.
Listen, I have no qualms. I lived up north in Michigan. I get it.
I get it. Oh, here, I found the Trovis. All right, there you go. Oh, look at this. Look at this sleepy dragonborn.
Oh,
Oh,
I sing that blues
Trovis.
song.
That's his heart.
Yeah, that's him. Empty wine bottle in tow. Yep.
I love him.
Protect, please. Good. So do you want to make your way inside of the store?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Opens the door. Little town.
Yes, and you see that the building in front of you is jam-packed with supplies of all kinds. So in this general store, you can find anything that you would, want to buy on the player's equipment list, save for healing potions. They have all the other basic equipment you might need. You do also see that there are several different sleds that are stacked up against the wall here, and attached to the back of this building, you did see that there was kind of like a closed stable structure, which is probably where they keep the dogs.
Doggos.
So many
Smell 'em.
dogs in Icewind Dale, everybody. So many dogs.
Not enough.
Not enough.
There's never enough.
And
Could be more.
behind one of like the L-shaped counter area, you see an elderly human man who is currently like cleaning some jars and stacking some inventory. And he turns around when you enter. He's like, "Oh, travelers, welcome to Caer-Konig. You just passing by. Do you need supplies?"
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir. We are indeed passing through, and we indeed need supplies, and also a sled.
Oh, well, we certainly have sleds. I have 6 fine dogs currently. It's enough to pull one sled. I mean, there are an awful lot of you, but the dogs could certainly carry your equipment, make the journey a little easier for maybe a scout.
I can pull sled.
I can ride a dog.
I bet you could. He says, looking
I can
up.
ride a dog.
As a matter
We
of
just
fact.
put you on one of them, strap you to it. It's fine.
We hate to
Done it
assume
before.
though.
I can do it
Exactly.
again.
You get a centaur in your party and you just don't know if they're cool with it or
Right,
not.
right. No, that's
true.
That's
Oh,
fair.
yeah. Oh,
Um,
forgive me. Excuse me.
Well, are you heading out into the tundra, my friends? Perhaps you'd be interested in a guide.
Oh yeah. Is Jotha around?
Yeah, she's on break, but let me go get her for you. And he totters off towards the stables. And as you do so, you hear a series of like happy yipping coming from the back room as he goes back there. And then a dwarven woman. So you recognize her as a shield dwarf. She's got kind of plaited blonde hair and a scraggly blonde beard. She steps out in cold weather clothing, and she's like, you looking for a guide? Oh, hey, and she would wave at Inga. Inga, it's good to see you.
Oh yes, I will not waste your time having you come out into wretched wilderness.
Well, I mean, things are slow all around, so if you do need a guide, I could use the work. Atanis didn't mention you were here. I'm afraid he's sort of starting to forget faces. Anyway,
How? So many questions.
Ah,
yeah, yeah, he's been running this shop for a long time, and I think the cold, well, it's harsh. Anyway, well, if you do want a guide going out there, 10 gold pieces a day, my standard rate. It is expensive, but also everything in Icewind Dale is pretty expensive because there's not a lot to go around.
Very true.
Well, greetings. My name is Gob.
Pleasure
It's
to
a
meet you.
Pleasure. Yeah. We're actually investigating a crime of some sort.
Oh, the robberies.
That's the one. Or several. You wouldn't happen to know any assailants, any suspicious characters around here?
And she absolutely frowns at you, seeming to pick up on what you're implying. And she's like, listen, I know the tracks look Dwarven, but dwarves wouldn't do this. They've got plenty enough out there in their own valley. They're not going to come to this tiny little town and take things, especially such weird things.
Well, of course, but since tensions are already so high, it would be very easy for someone to come in disguised as one and just make the tensions between them and everyone else just as bad. So
I suppose so. I'm not sure who would gain anything from that.
who needs to gain anything when it's as chaotic as it can be?
That's true. Things have gotten strange around here. It could be all manner of things. What gets me, though, is, I don't know, they seem to be looking for, whoever it is, looking for something specific, maybe?
Specific.
I mean, there's other things they could have taken. You know, they could have taken food. They haven't stolen anything from the general store, which is sort of odd. They haven't taken the dogs. Nothing, just some goats and I think some pearls or something. And then, of course, the lantern.
As a magic person, can I think of like any kind of like ritual or something that would require these components?
These 3 things: a goat, a pearl,
Listen,
Right.
and a lantern.
So goat sacrifice, not the
Oh my
weirdest shit I've
God.
seen in my
That's
80s.
very
That
true.
is true. Go ahead and roll it. Let's see.
All right, that's Arcana, I assume, right?
Yes, an Arcana.
14 plus 5, so 19.
Okay.
Ooh,
You are sure that there is no spell that would require these 3
You
specific
never
things.
know.
There are some that are close, and you're like, but other things probably would have worked better.
Okay. Well, if they're trying to cast a spell, they're doing a pretty shitty job.
clearly. Was it how many goats were taken? Was it just one or
It was
like
2
several?
goats,
Okay,
a
so
pair of goats.
a pair of goats.
Yeah.
Very specific.
Can I maybe roll an insight just to see if they might be holding anything back?
Yeah, definitely. Go ahead and roll it.
That's a 10. Can I saunter up a little bit and in Dwarvish say, don't worry, I'm cool. And saunter back to the rest of the party.
Okay. She says, no. Yeah, you're getting the impression that she's telling you everything.
She's cool.
She is frustrated. You think that maybe other people have accused her of knowing or asked if she knew something, or maybe accused her of doing something, is the feeling that you're getting. If you want to go after these tracks and figure out who's doing this, I mean, I would just start going in the direction, track them down. I can't leave the shop, obviously, because of Tanis. But if you did hire me to go out there, I could, justify that. I mean, otherwise, yeah, they look like they head toward Kelvin's, but I highly doubt any Shield Dwarf had anything to do with this.
Maybe we'd go talk to them. Maybe some of their things have been taken as well. It might paint a bigger picture.
True.
You want to try and talk to them? Be my guest. I guarantee they will not be as nice as I am.
That seems kind of the stipulation of Icewind Dale. So, yeah.
Everyone's a dick.
Everyone's an April Ludgate.
What?
Oh my god.
Oh,
I mean,
will they talk?
Can we have a conference real quick?
Yeah,
Get everybody.
I'll go into the back, I guess. And she goes into the back
Surprise
to kind of
meeting.
give you some space.
What?
I only have like 15 gold pieces, so
What, Gob? You only have 15 gold pieces?
I
A
spent
lot
it.
of gold pieces.
A lot of gold.
Yeah.
I have 10 to spare, and I would happily spare everyone.
Oh, well, we
If
don't want to put you
others-
out, essentially.
I don't have such use for so much income.
I'll
These
put it.
people seem to need their items back.
Well, I mean, Xena, you are a saint, but also if we find this lantern, we'll make it back in free room and board.
do
There
you
is
think?
much generosity in these lands. I don't think this gold will do very well after this endeavor. It is being put to good use.
More than likely.
Maybe
I'm always for keeping the locale thriving.
Small
Think-
business saving.
yeah. Gobble reach into his boot, fish around a little bit, and pull out 2 gold pieces. And all right, I'll chip in. Can we maybe get it for a day? What do you say? Probably be helpful.
I believe that's probably all we'll need. No one wants to spend their nights out on the tundra.
Yeah, that it would suck.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta be honest with you, if we do get that free room and board, in comparison, it's gonna be a fucking spa day.
Exactly. And I'm pretty sure all of us could definitely use a bath.
Does
I
this
didn't
day
want to say
trip
anything, but gob, my
Oh,
god.
good, yeah. We've been
Co-
on the road.
There's no
Yes,
deodorant in Icewind Dale.
I know my senses fail me sometimes, but there's no ignoring that
The
stench.
cold kills the stink. Everybody knows that.
It's okay.
It's
We
fine.
still love you, young man.
Sorry, what were you gonna say, Nassim?
if we knew if the day trip cost included the employment of the dogs and the sled.
You do not believe that would be a separate thing.
Okay. Well,
Um,
again,
yeah.
my gold is your gold.
But if you did have, you would know that if you had like a good wilderness guide, you would probably be able to walk around a lot of the problems that sled specifically would help you out with, because she could probably steer you around the large patches of ice or, you know, the worst of the foothills or anything. So it's about equivalent in terms of usefulness.
She has
Okay.
more HP than a sled.
She does. And 6 dogs.
I would hope
Stacked
so.
on top
yeah.
of each other.
Puddle, puddle.
So I suppose we pop our head out of our group communion, and
Are we in a huddle right now? Is that what's going
in my
on?
mind we are.
Yeah.
What, you're
would
like
it be?
3 feet tall.
Everyone
Are you in
get
the middle
down.
of the
That's
circle?
hard. My neck hurts.
Gob's like,
My neck hurts too. Excuse me, Jotha.
Yeah.
We're ready.
Yep. And she wanders back out.
Yeah. And I looked at everybody and said, we would like to purchase your services for a day.
Great.
Please.
All right. Well, do you want to head out now, or if we headed out at first light tomorrow, you'd get the most out of your money? It's up to you.
I think we can peek around here, see if anything else suspicious happens. And do you mind if we knock at your door if we find anything and need help traversing?
Sure. By all means, I'll be here.
And is there a deposit for the puppy rental instead?
The dogs aren't included, but if you want to get the dogs, we can we can work that out as well. Let me see what the cost of these
Don't
dogs.
think we need dogs. It's okay. Dogs only cause problem.
My feet are tired. All right.
I want to ride
We
a
get
dog.
sled. We
Don't
get
worry,
sled.
Dom.
You hook up sled to me. I can pull one size category larger than I normally could because of my elk build.
So
Very
specific.
robust, dear.
Maybe
You'll be
Those
all right.
elk games.
Maybe one
Yeah.
puppy.
Just
No.
for a friend.
No, just
We're
because.
not taking one for a pet. We've got
Emotional
jingles.
support.
Well, mount.
You
Thank
you have to get them at least in pairs, otherwise they get bored.
No,
Oh,
we
I'll-
have a tracker.
I'll exercise
and-
them.
Jartha will say.
We'll just throw Gob and have them bring him back every time. It's fine.
I'm proficient in
Minerva
land
pulls
vehicles.
out of her purse
It's fine.
the oldest, scraggiest looking, like toothless fox. And she's like, we don't need anything to track, and we've got transportation. Jingles will handle the sniffing if it comes to that.
Oh, is that
Oh.
thing alive?
Okay.
Where did you
Um,
conjure that creature?
45 years ago. It's quite a bargain, wouldn't you say, for a fox?
Yeah.
Xena wants to lean in to the face of the fox and see if it's alive and breathing.
Does it breathe?
Check
Right.
if it's breathing.
Stop.
Everyone's very concerned, standing
Lean in and you
around
just
Minnie,
hear-
like,
It's wheezing.
Should I revive its spirit?
Oh, he's fine. He's fine. Don't worry about Jingles. Just a fey spirit, mind you not.
Very well.
All right. So the plan then is to kind of kick around here, see what you can find out, and then head out in the morning. Yes.
yep.
Okay. Sure. So what are you doing with your time? There are the set of tracks that led out behind the inn. You could potentially follow those, see if you get anywhere with that. You could ask more questions. You could hang out at the inn, buy things from the general store.
Lena would
ask
definitely like
after
to
the-
follow the tracks a little bit and deepen them with her mace, just out
you
of
don't
fear
lose
of
'em?
that it might snow in the night and they might disappear. So she's basically gonna like shovel with her mace alongside the tracks and follow them as far as we can.
Sure. Yeah, you all going along following the tracks as far as you
Okay.
can?
Absolutely.
Yep.
Just sniff it.
Don't split the party.
Don't, especially not the first episode. No.
Right.
So you follow the tracks, which kind of wind out of Caer-Konig and just continue on into the tundra there. And you follow them for about 50 feet or so. When it comes to the point when you can no longer see the tracks. It did snow last night, and everything got kind of filled in, so you lose the trail after about 50 feet or so.
Can I have Jingles stick his snout into it and try to grab a smell for later?
Shoves the
Boy,
fox into the snow.
Sure. Have your fox make a perception check to see if he can grab this smell. I think if he does have keen smell, he gets advantage on it, right?
I just gave him cat stats because I couldn't find fox. So
They
yeah.
have fox in Icewind Dale. They definitely did Arctic fox.
What?
Yeah, it wasn't in there before, but if you go on D&D Beyond, you can pull up Arctic fox for sure. Because people were like, they're definitely gonna want that as a familiar, so they gave the stats
Fuck
in
yeah.
Icewind Dale.
Because if Jingles dies, he's gonna have white fur when he comes back.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
All right. So that's gonna be a 13.
Okay, so what does it look like when Jingles smells things? Is it like normal? Do you hold him? Like, what do you?
Sad.
Yeah, I just kind of like stick his face into the print.
Got
and
it.
He just goes,
Okay.
and then he just like poofs out snow from his nostrils and looks back at me like, "Got it, mom."
Yeah. So he sneezes. And with it's a fine familiar, right?
Yeah.
Is there any kind of like communication back and forth? Do you get like telepathic vibes or anything, or?
Let me answer that.
It's been so long since we've had, because in Venture Maidens we have super warlock familiar. I've
Oh,
forgotten how normal
I know.
familiars work.
You can just kind of warg, but maybe like a
Uh,
commands and back and forth.
Fails.
Yeah.
I'm familiar. I can communicate with telepathy.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
So Jingles is, you get the sense that Jingles definitely has a scent, and it's weird. They don't like the smell, you think is why they were sneezing at you. It's like they've got like a mushroomy smell to them, mixed with like cold steel, iron, almost like the smell of like gunpowder. It's a very odd scent that Jingles does not like.
Oh,
Hmm.
I will relay this to my party.
Mushrooms and gunpowder.
That's not a perfume I've ever worn.
Ooh.
Can I make a nature check to see if I would recall, like, maybe where there's like a, where mushrooms are likely to grow?
Sure. Go ahead and give me that nature. Roll it with advantage since you're from here.
That is, oh wow, that's kind of garbage. That's 11.
Okay, you are sure that there is nowhere in Icewind Dale that mushrooms would just grow because it's so cold and like dry. Mushrooms do not flourish here, not above ground anyway.
Mushrooms certainly do not grow above ground. Probably connected to underground some way. You know, they need much more heat.
Well, the doors probably live in the mountain more than likely, so it may not necessarily be one of them, but something may be taking shelter where they live. Better that than anywhere else around here.
True. Underground is a much nicer place to be above ground in Icewind Dale.
Though the tracks disappear after about 50 feet, is it leading into a fairly open space, or is there trees and forest kind of ahead?
Yeah, so there really aren't much in the way of forests in Icewind Dale. In fact, most structures here are made of stone because it is so hard to get wood in this area. Wood is a very rare resource. The only source of wood is next to one of the towns called Lonely Wood. There is like a pine forest up there. That is pretty much the only source of wood in Icewind Dale. So this expanse that you're looking into, as you're getting closer to the mountain, it's surrounded by these rocky foothills, which are, of course, covered in snow and these, like smaller glacier type sheets of ice here. So you can't get like a direct view of the terrain. It is like sort of rolling hills and everything is just covered in snow. Other than that, there's every once in a while, there's like patchy scraggles of trees or plants that are managing to hang on, but it is pretty desolate. It's like Chaparral, so think Southern California, but covered in snow, like that kind of terrain. Yeah. Rocky with white frosting. Yeah, so I mean the tracks are definitely heading into the foothills surrounding Kelvin's cairn.
Well, all right.
Oh, wait, you said it was morning time, quote unquote, right?
Yeah, so now probably it's like 11 to noon. Not that you can tell because the sun is the same.
I've been awake for like days. I don't even know. But, maybe we could get Jotha if y'all feeling fresh. Maybe they'd be ready to go sooner rather than later.
Well, I do want to speak to perchance the owners of the pearl beads and the goats as well, if they know anything.
Goat herd.
Mostly, I just want to know if they put their goats in pajamas like those puppet shows I watched.
Wow.
Very cute.
Yeah,
yes,
maybe.
Icewind Dale goat pajamas, famous all over
So many
Faerun.
questions. So
They
many
actually
questions.
invented them.
The cutest
Yeah,
puppet shows.
all
I've
animal
Hannah
wear.
Beans, don't ask.
Originated here.
Classy.
Makes sense. It's so cold.
So I am gonna go ahead and I guess it's halfway through our stream, so we have to open up a dice giveaway. So as a reminder, before we start that, we will post a phrase in the chat. You type in the phrase to enter to win, and we are going to be pulling that name at the very end of the stream. So if you enter, you have to stick around for the last hour to enter to win these lovely sets of dice. Oh, whoops. I just put pictures of ourselves. Yay! It was very meta for a moment. Yes, enter the win these beautiful sets of dice from RPG Dice. Joe, why don't you tell people who you are, what you do, and where they can find you since you're hosting this awesome giveaway.
Oh, shucks. Yeah, I'm Joe from Dice. You can find me on Twitter at RPG_dice, spelled with a Y. And yeah, I'm always cranking out new sets, trying new things, taking custom commissions if you have a dream set in mind. Yeah.
I commissioned a set that I'm very, very excited to receive. They're going to be so beautiful for season 2 of The Rising Hunger because they look like blood.
Blood dice. Yes, so enter to win. And what is that code word for the people listening, Sage?
! Stone Cold Fox.
Arr.
Oh, you
It's
named it after me.
Jingles.
Thanks.
Jingles!
Yeah, Vincent, you're closer than Jingles. Jingles is
Just wait till he dies, guys.
Right, Stone Cold Dead. That's
Stone
Jingle.
Cold Dead. That's Jingles. So,
He's doing his best.
so with the information you all have gained from the tracks and the things you want to do, I'll go ahead and just kind of summarize what happens here. You try and talk to the owners of the goats and the beads, and you get very quickly the sense, these people don't really want to talk to you. They don't really know anything, and they definitely didn't see anything. You do know that the goats were, like, outside in a covered pen, so honestly, anybody could have just walked by and taken them. Similarly, like, the person who had the beads, their door wasn't locked at the time, because, like, why would you need to? Nobody comes in and out of town. So
Clearly someone does.
exactly. And the story is the same from everyone. Like, they found tracks leading to their houses, the same tracks that have been popping up all over town, but they didn't see anyone, they didn't hear anyone. Just gone. They woke up and their stuff was gone.
Okay, gone with the wind.
Good. They are good.
Yeah. Yep. So do you all want to wait until the following morning and head out on the trail?
You want to get some
That'd
brunch?
be a good idea.
You get some
I
brunch.
think
Oh,
we
no,
should
no.
set trap out for these thief. We put valuable object outside and we set trap, maybe bait creature.
I don't have any goat. No.
I have this. And she pulls out from within her big blue puffy fur coat this greenish stone that emanates with like a sort of faint light.
Cool. Where are you leaving this stone?
Are there windows that face the, I guess, main or where the lantern was? Are there like windows on the top floor of the inn?
Would there be windows? Probably. I think probably they've been boarded up with like heavy shutters on them, just because it's gotten so much colder than usual. They've boarded up the windows here.
What do you think? What if we put your shiny stone where the lantern used to be, and then the criminal always returns? That's what they
Oh,
say
to
in
the
Waterdeep.
crime. Yeah.
Pretty sure. Yeah. What do you think? Yeah.
Oh yes.
We could take a peek. We could get drinks and watch from the window.
Maybe not drink too much.
Oh, okay.
There's a belch that comes from somewhere as Torvis is still sleeping.
I can always have Jingles keep watch, and then we can just. I'm going to sleep. I don't know about you young people, but I'm gonna sleep.
Maybe it's 11:30 in the morning.
I'm exhausted, young man.
I'm so tired.
And the cold makes you sleepy.
Let's get you back to bed, Grandma. It's fine.
Okay.
Oh no.
Does that sound like a good plan, though?
Yeah.
Inga?
Yeah, yes, where the lantern was, perhaps. Yeah, could set it right outside, and then.
We'll hide in the snowdrift, like what's his name?
Yes, take note from Tarvis.
He had a lot on the ball, that one.
Like a steel trap. Steel trap. Yeah, and he is still sleeping, by the way, in the chair in the inn. So if you did want to have him keep watch for you.
Not him specifically. I'll sleep out there with him.
Okay.
Because, with my big elk body, these beds are not made for me.
Right.
That is true. I will say it is incredibly cold out there. So unless you have some kind of resistance or immunity to cold, you would start to freeze if you were just out in the open all night. You would need like a fire or something to.
I mean, she would sleep on just on the other side of the door and wait for
Okay.
Ooh, let's see. Yeah.
All right. So we have Inga kind of sleeping by the door in the bottom of the inn, and then Minerva, you wanted your fox to.
Yeah,
Wait.
Jingles will just kind of keep just his eyes right on the window ledge.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Everybody else going to sleep?
Oh,
But yeah,
this,
once we
this
hang
back
the-
needs a
the gem
bad
and all that.
baby.
Yeah.
Dina will probably just meditate for a while.
See if there's like a nearby barrel, and I could maybe knock over whatever the contents are and hop in and cut a little eye hole.
In the barrel.
In the barrel.
Inside the inn, or
outside, like on the street, if I could.
okay, you are gonna free. I don't think you all
Barrels
understand
are
how
going to
cold it is.
Literally, first character death to the elements.
Yeah. Basically,
Pickled alive.
you cannot be outside at night for like more than like if you sleep you have to do it like undercover, or because also the wind that blows through here, and then it will snow constantly and it gets even colder. We're talking sub-zero temperatures, so a wooden barrel is not gonna do it.
Fair enough. Yeah, I guess whatever vantage point we can that's warm.
Sure. All right. So then over the course of the night, Minerva, let's go ahead and do some rolls for your perception, and then Inga, since you're right by the doors, and Gob. Why don't all of you go ahead and roll me a perception check?
Oh. Natural 20.
Ooh.
I hear all.
So, 17 for me.
Okay. Sorry, what was that, Katie? I think you're muted. Oh.
So if it's hearing based, then I got a 19. If it's just vision based, then I got a
We can take the 19.
13. Okay.
Okay, so you all do super, super well. So I think, you all are kind of, you're getting that half like in and out of sleep as you're also trying to pay attention, in the inn. And it is a little hard to see because, as you get into a couple hours into the deep night, the green and purples in the sky fade away as you get just the true blackness of night. And it's, again, snow starts to fall. It starts to cloud up the windows. It becomes very, very hard to see. At one point during the night, Minerva, you get the sense from your little critter that, like, they hear something. It's like a crunching snow sound, but then they, like, keep listening. And they don't seem alarmed, or they seem unsure if it was crunching from like something nefarious or just like a person or the creaking of snow. It's hard to tell, but you all think there was a sound from outside. Maybe?
Minerva will get up as she hears Jingle say "Ma" in her mind.
Ma! Ma!
Get up.
There is something, but I don't know.
And Minerva's just like,
It's like when your dog hears a leaf blower like 4 blocks over and they're just like,
yeah, and so she'll be like, wake up, Inga, she's sleeping, and then she'll like slowly make her way downstairs.
yeah, and Inga, Inga and Gob, both of you were there, and so you can like rouse yourselves immediately. So there was perhaps an odd crunching sound outside.
Go wake Xena. Xena, there was a nefarious crunch outside.
One taking a look at the creature.
No, everybody's just woken each other up a whole bunch.
Yeah.
It's crunchy out there. I don't know. Let's all get ready.
Well, I'm gonna. I mean, yeah, I don't think that he can open a door. Never mind. I'm way overestimating Jingles. Never mind. Continue.
Is there a window that I can peek out to look at the door?
Yeah, you can peek out, and again, so, like, sort of this rime has like formed on the outside of the window, so you're looking through here, and you're looking out, and the snow now is really picked up as the wind is swirling around, almost like blizzard weather, as you're trying to look out there, and you definitely don't see anyone standing out there, and the stone still appears to be in its holster above the door.
All right. As I am peeking out, I would like to cast Fairy Fire right in front of the door.
Okay. All right, let me go ahead and roll. That's a dexterity save?
Dex save DC 13.
Okay. Why don't you go ahead, roll a percentage die for me, and let me know what you get.
48.
Okay. So as you do, you cast fairy fire around the door, and there's this like kind of flare as your magic like fills the area, and you're looking, and no, there's no one there. No one that gets illuminated by your spell anyway.
She whispers, I don't see anyone yet.
Jingles, do you smell anything?
And Jingles looks, and it's just you get the sense that maybe inside from here with the snow outside, there's no way Jingles would be able to.
Well, go on. Someone open the door for him.
He makes like a little whining sound.
Oh,
That's the
don't
paw on the door.
fuss. It's just a quick sniff.
Okay, yeah.
I've fed you fish for 8 million years at this point. Get out there.
You owe me.
Oh no.
So you
Oh my God.
open up this door, and immediately as you do, it's like, the wind is blowing in and snow drifts across the floor, and you kind of have to fight to get the door. And this poor little fox is like wandering out into the snow, paw by little paw, and goes. And and like sneezes, and then like allows themselves to be pushed by the wind back into the building. And
Oh
it's
no.
just,
Shoulder the door closes again.
and you just get the sense that with the blizzard and everything, go ahead and make me a perception check. See if they were able to pick anything up. I'm gonna say this is pretty difficult.
Perception, I rolled an 18 on the die.
Okay, yeah.
Oh.
And then the fox sneezes and communicates to you that same smell was out there. That smell that they picked up before.
The stone's still out there.
The stone is still out there.
Hmm.
She'll just go ahead and grab it.
Yeah. And you can take down the stone. And I think, Inga, maybe as you're out there, you do see they're filling up very quickly, but there are tracks in the snow that seem to have come towards where the light was and then run away very quickly. Maybe when all the commotion started, with you all getting up.
Look, the tracks, they are fresh here. Should we follow now or should we wait until morning?
Darling, we
This
should
blizzard
probably
is-
wait.
is raging.
We're gonna
around
lose
you.
them.
I mean, I
Oh.
think I'm doing Jingle's voice. I think if we go out there, we're gonna die. But also, if we wait, we won't have tracks anymore because it's a blizzard. And personally, I'd rather not die yet.
Yeah, I'm with Minnie. Death, not so much, but at least we know that this thing is still coming back, so that's at least something to go off of.
True.
All right.
Yeah.
How long did it take? How much time passed before or since putting the stone out and then now?
So you probably all went to sleep maybe around, 8 or 9. And
Ugh.
it's now maybe like midnight-ish.
Okay.
So when the
did-
sun would have been well and truly set had these been normal times.
Mm-hmm. And the general direction of these new-ish tracks are about the same as the old ones we followed before.
Well, you can't really follow them out where they go, but clearly somebody was walking around the inn and like walked up towards the door to look at this stone, and then was driven away. So the tracks go back off, kind of meandering through the streets of Caer-Konig.
Okay.
No, it's dwarvy. Were the prints the same size too?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Prints the same, smell the same. You can pretty much guarantee this is the same assailant.
Sounds like tomorrow we're going to that valley, huh?
I'd wager it'd be a good idea.
Let's
I'll
get
take
some
that bit.
shut eye.
All right, so you pack up your stone and get some real sleep. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And bright and early, well, not bright, but early, your guide, Jartha, knocks on the door of the inn. It's like 5:30. Basically, you all, wake up. Even inside, it's still very cold since the fire, died down over the course of the night. So you wake up to that familiar chill and the pounding on the door. And Jartha says, "We should get going. The snow's stopped, and this is probably our best chance to follow whatever tracks are left."
Okay, just let me get some oatmeal.
What?
I
Go
quickly just
Yeah, Allie's like,
To go cup. Let's
"What?"
go.
She's like, "What?" And, spooning out oatmeal for you all.
It'll be
And
worth it when we have endurance through the day.
okay.
turn into a granola bar. It's fine. Let's go.
Yeah, it's so cold. You just throw the oatmeal outside. It'll be a granola bar in seconds.
Bye.
Pop granola.
Nice.
Mm.
All right. And as you do get out of the inn, now that you are all ready to go, it is the blizzard has stopped. Snow is no longer falling. Everything is in that frosty crystalline layer that you've gotten used to, except now, at this point, people are like starting to come out of their houses and have to like scoop their way out, of the snow to be able to open their doors. And you see that there are tracks. Fresh, deep tracks that go all around the inn itself and in the different streets. And you see that people are muttering, looking at their neighbors, looking down at the tracks, shrugging, and this has become normal now for Caer-Konig, seeing these weird tracks. And immediately, Jartha sets off on this trail here, leading kind of in the same direction as those tracks from yesterday.
Well, on our way. Let's go.
Hoofing it.
Mhm.
Yep.
I guess we're
Yeah,
pretty
here we go.
lucky that they keep just coming back, huh?
They're clearly looking for something if they're going to more than just the inn, realistically.
Yeah. I don't know what they could be after, though. I mean, what's in Caer-Konig that's so interesting?
Once we find them, we'll ask.
It
Yeah.
seems rude that we can't come up with an answer to that, but I'm sure there is one.
You'd be surprised. And she will continue to follow this set of tracks. And you all can clearly and easily follow these tracks for quite a ways. I would say maybe like 300 feet or so outside of town. At this point, things do get a little bit more confused since the blizzard fall was pretty intense. So I would like you all to go ahead and make a group survival check for me as you all are kind of looking out on this trail here. And since you have a guide, she's going to be rolling at advantage and contributing to the group check, which means we need 3
that's
successes.
Go.
Hot garbage. 9.
Oh dear. It's a failure.
I got
4.
3.
19.
Somehow got a 21.
Okay.
19.
Good. A 19, a 21, and your guide got a 19. So that is a failure despite...
Oh,
Jingle.
But you got 3.
No, I'm sorry. That's a success. I said
Oh,
just
I was like-
sorry. I was what? I was
Like, my shitty fox roll if that's what it
oh no. I was just curious. What are Xena, Gob, and Inga doing that is going so poorly? Xena, how do you poorly search for tracks? What's are you distracted? Are you just not good at it? Are you dealing with something else?
She's definitely not good at it. She usually does her hunting and stuff, just pure instinct, nothing really visual, and gets easily distracted as well.
Nice. And Gob, how is this going so poorly for you?
I think slipped on some ice and fell in the snowdrift.
Oh yeah, it's hard when you're so
oh my
small.
God, grab him.
Yeah.
And the
Grab
ice
him.
is so tall.
It's just a little 3-foot indent,
Yeah. And then I think also Jartha will say, you should really think about buying some snowshoes if you're gonna keep just tromping around out here.
These are my favorite boots. I respectfully, no thank you.
We're going to strap you to Inga if you get lost in the snow again.
I don't know.
I know, and Inga's trying to help him out of the bank.
Yeah.
The snow melts on
the
him.
whole
It's
scene.
as close as he gets to a bath. I'm not complaining.
Oh my gosh. And what is Inga doing that is going so poorly?
I
Helping
think
Gub?
she's trying to help him out, and it's like this whole big scene, and it's just really distracting.
Oh my god.
Don't tell anybody about this, please.
Yeah.
We all saw it. We all
all-
know.
Fumbling bunch of level 3s.
Oh yeah. But despite the fumbling, you all do manage to, after about an hour of kind of searching and maybe feeling like you go in the right direction, you pick up the tracks once again, and you follow these single set of Dwarven tracks for about 50 more feet, and then all of a sudden those tracks stop, and different tracks are in front of you. You see that there are a couple of very, very large footprints that sort of just made like a circle indentations and then lead off, and trailing behind these very large tracks look like rails of maybe like some kind of something that's pulled, maybe like a sled.
Can I make a survival check on these tracks?
Hell yeah.
Something clearly transmuted itself. Oh my fucking god. I'm gonna use my feature to cast guidance on myself.
She's like, no.
Ah!
Lord! This is what I'm supposed to be doing!
So let's make out of this.
It's okay. I have a feeling we're going to be making a lot of these checks as the campaign goes on.
It's a 13.
Okay, so with the 13, being a native of Icewind Dale, you would note that these look a lot like giant tracks. Not like giant tracks, but maybe like ogre or troll would be your guesses, just from the shape and the size of these things. And it is very clear to you that these rails belong to a sled. So it looks like whatever this ogre or troll or larger creature was, is pulling a sled.
Large creature, troll, pretty resident neighbor of region, likely to happen. I don't think they use magic to transform, but maybe, I don't know, but clearly carrying sled here.
Seeing the size of those, don't mind if I just take a minute, and Minerva's gonna cast mage armor and just slowly shrug on like a magical sweater that just kind of absorbs into her.
The cardigan of power. Yes. Yeah, I mean, Jartha looks up at you all and says, well, do you want to keep following him?
This is the best lead that we have, darling. So let's go.
Mm-hmm. She will also say, it doesn't look like we're headed toward Kelvin's cairn. I mean, not directly there anyway. If the tracks had been leading back there, they would have gone a more direct route than this one.
Well, that proves my earlier theory of someone who's just using this area for shelter from the cold.
Yeah, the foothills around Kelvin's cairn, there's a lot of space there. If somebody did build something, well, it would certainly go unnoticed.
Onward we go then.
Yeah, let's check it out. Yeah.
All right. So you continue and following the tracks. At some points, they get dodgy for about another hour or so. And you all at this point are cold and tired of stomping through just thick snow. And you do come to, you're much closer now to Kelvin's cairn, but you are not at the foot of the mountain. You are in the foothill regions that surround it. And all around these like rocky outcroppings, you see plenty of like dips and valleys, easily places people could hide. And as you crest one of these ridges, all of a sudden you see something that breaks up the white of the snow. So as you are looking kind of down into this valley, you see... Oh, let me find it. A blocky stronghold, bereft of warmth or charm, juts out of a hillside in a rough crescent shape. Only part of its construction is visible. The rest is buried in the stone. A large double door of stone serves as the main entrance. The terrain leading to it is a gently upward-sloping plain covered with fresh snow. A stream used to flow out of a barred culvert northeast of the main entrance, but the waterway has frozen. 2 other barred openings can be seen along the stronghold's northern wall. Anyone positioned beyond these openings would have an unobstructed view of the hillside. Closer to you, separated from the rest of the stronghold, is a snow-covered stone bunker, perforated by arrow slits. So you are basically back at the very top of this hill that kind of slopes downwards towards where these doors are. So you are just out of range probably of that viewpoint and this bunker with the arrow slits. But if you walk any closer, you might potentially be seen by if anyone is in there.
Do you see any light sources or anything like that?
Yeah, so looking here, you can, there's the little arrow slits kind of these grates that you can see against a wall, and just the tiny arrow slits in this bunker. And as you're glinting in at them, no, you don't think there are any kind of lights, but it's also really hard to say since you're so far away. It is certainly an odd sight in the middle of this snowy hill, seeing these great doors and this stronghold.
Jatha, you seen anything like this?
No, this is... What the hell is that?
Clearly someone preparing themselves in case someone tries to attack them, but maybe this is the source of where all those things have been missing themselves to.
Maybe. I mean, if I didn't know better... It does sort of look like Dwarven construction, but...
Do any other races know how to make things of stone to this magnitude?
What do
Giants!
you go ahead and... You could make a history or a nature check to kind of put some pieces together.
Oh god, both of those are pretty terrible.
I'll cast guidance. Add a d4 to your roll.
Okay. Let's do history.
Okay.
Never mind. Natural 20.
Oh, yeah!
Never mind.
All right, so now you've had seem like dwarves, but maybe not dwarves. That mushroom hint and this stone, the fact that they're moving around under cover of darkness, you might be dealing with Duergar. Duergar are sort of the evil cousins of dwarves that live specifically in the Underdark. They're very sensitive to sunlight, so you rarely ever see them above ground, but that could be what you're dealing with here. And if there are Duergar in Icewind Dale, then that's gonna get nasty real quick. They are a brutal, conquering people. Not a lot of good that you know about Duergar.
Not a lot. I relay that and say, well, I guess there's not a lot to conquer out here, but any land is good land, I guess.
My ma used to tell me stories. It's not good. Not good.
Well, we have an idea of who they might be, and it makes the track seem a little bit more appropriate. How do we want to go about approaching? Because I, for one, don't want to be filled full of arrows.
Look pretty well fortified.
Frontal assault.
Maybe not.
No, Gob. No. Please stay alive. You have a lot of life left to live.
How about we send the fox to, sniff around?
Poor fox.
The poor fox.
Better him than us. I'm just saying.
He's
2 miles away.
Yeah. It does,
Oh.
Jartha will kind of point out as you're looking at the structure, because you are like sort of up, and then things funnel downwards, landing at the very bottom of this valley, like where those set of double doors are. There is like kind of a rocky overhang that forms the edges of this like little mini canyon it's in. So that area is pretty well shaded. So potentially you could sneak around and reach either the doors or the grates if you were quiet enough and maybe had some kind of camouflage. It looks like probably your best option to avoid, the arrow slits and the grates, which are a little bit higher up off the ground.
Since we've been traveling together, we'd know if any of us is particularly noisy or not dexterous.
Is that you, Gob?
Nope.
As we all turn and look at Gob, like
I got the one piece of armor. I got just a breastplate, and I'm pretty light on my little fingers and toes.
Pretty light on my
Spider-Man.
fingers.
your
I
way
walk
up
like
the wall.
this.
You've seen it when we're camping.
You all know if you
Thank you.
need to say something in secret to Minnie, say it to Jingles, because she's been known to say "what" in a horrible
Very
time.
Yeah, you should we creep around and take a peek?
Certainly do our best. Get ready, everybody, just in case.
Yeah, so I will say too, there are probably several points you could head to. So you could head like right towards the big double doors, which look pretty heavy, pretty sturdy. There are the grates that have kind of like iron bars, which are a little bit further off the ground, so you'd have to kind of climb up the icy slope. Maybe you could bend or shift those bars. There is also that little culvert, which is like basically one of those tubes that water flows through, like under the structure. So maybe that's a point of entry. Those are kind of your three main options that you're seeing from here. It doesn't
What
look
do
like
you think?
yeah. The bunker definitely doesn't have any entrances whatsoever on it. Like it's a piece of carved stone. One piece of carved stone.
What was the last one?
The bunker?
The bars are
No,
culvert?
the last path. that
Oh,
you just said?
the culvert, which is that that water tunnel that has like kind of a frozen stream of water that seems to lead like under the structure.
Probably water coming out of there.
I think
Those
that
are-
might be the swiftest way. Could also be very messy.
falling in that
I
water, you're
think-
probably frozen.
Inga, you game to go in a tube?
Could you fit it into?
And a tube.
Yes, I could transform into smaller animals should it require it.
Ah, yes.
Cool. Very cool.
Druid sized for
Very
your
cute.
convenience. Fun size.
Yeah, I'm
You in
thinking because I'm
pajamas
feeling
if
like
we
we
go
skate
for it.
through the tunnel and come up from below.
Whee!
Yeah.
Do it.
Tube.
Go for it.
Culvert,
Okay.
Gob, culvert.
It's a
Alright.
tube.
And Jartha asks you all, I'm hired as a scout, not really a fighter, so I can stay out here and keep watch. Maybe?
Oh,
That
I
would be
would
good.
Maybe
just feel terrible if we didn't return you to your dear husband. You should definitely stay
Oh,
out
he's
here.
not. He's not my husband. We're just old
L.
friends.
I assume everybody's married.
Uh,
I'm old.
Right.
Oh, man.
L.
But now that we've started the subject, why aren't you?
Oh my god. Why are you
is a
so single? You're
conversation
such
for
a nice
another
dwarven
time.
girl. Oh my god.
Single at this age? Oh God, I'm my aunt.
Jesus. All right. So we all sneaking around to the tube.
Yep.
Sneak
Sneaky,
into that
sneaky.
tube. Yeah.
Maybe you could leave sprinkles. What was your boy's name?
Sprinkles.
Jingles.
Jingles, yes.
With our guide, and maybe if they see something, then she
Well,
relay
that-
to Jingles and magic.
Sure, that'll work for a time, but only 100 feet away.
Oh,
Oh, you would definitely be getting more
I-
than
I-
100 feet away.
Listen, young man, I've been doing this for some time. What was I talking about? So
Come on, Minnie.
Into the
Let's
tube.
go.
Let's go into the tube.
Into the
oh,
tube.
thank you. She lets you like escort her in.
All right.
You see Inga take out a talisman of a very intricately carved sort of wolf head, like that's carved out of stone that she wears as an amulet on her neck. And you see that she rubs it, and then you see suddenly her elkish centaur form transforms into a wolf.
Oh, cool.
Oh, puppy.
Wolves are cool.
What does your coat look like?
What kind of wolf are you?
What color are your eyes?
What kind are you?
Spicy puppy.
Wolf girls.
Oh, the choices. So definitely that classic timber wolf of that light heathered gray on the top that fades to the white, and
That's
she
kinda
has these
Balto.
piercing
Balto, yeah.
yellow eyes that
Balto, yeah.
are very, very similar to when she's in her standard form.
Very cool.
She gets all the pets, just
Yeah.
hands everywhere. Like, oh my god, I love you
You
so
guys are
much.
down like, you guys do this every time.
Yeah, every time.
Minnie always forgets. She's like, oh god, a wolf.
All right. So with that, let's go ahead and make a group stealth check. Let's see how this all goes, everybody. Let's do some
Okay,
sneaking.
let me roll the one that's been rolling better for me.
Ooh.
Okay.
18.
Oh, nice.
Oh no.
Oh, that's a
7.
wolf.
Nice. I got a dirty 20.
Oh, okay. So Gob,
Oh,
Veronica
fuck
success.
yeah. 23.
All right, Inga success. Nice. All right, so that's 3 of you who have succeeded, which means that you are quiet enough as you kind of like sweep around the outside of this little valley in which this stronghold is situated, and you lean against this icy wall that forms one of the walls of this valley here, and shuffle along, in the darkness, the shadows there, and you pass by this bunker. And you don't seem to see any movement or lights from the arrow slit, so you think, maybe you've gone by unnoticed, or maybe no one's there. Not sure. And you continue to slide along, over the point where those grates with the iron bars are up ahead of you. And, you make your way around there, and finally you come to that point where things dip down, and there's the entrance to this big stone tube that goes under this place. And you see, there was a stream of water at one point that probably flowed in and out of here, but now it has all frozen. So, like, the bottom third of this tube is just frozen ice. So you kind of have to, lean down a little bit and crawl. But the tube itself is probably like 8 by 8 feet wide, so it's okay. Yeah, it's huge for someone like Gob, with, a couple like feet full of water here. So, it's a little cramped, but it's not terrible, as you are moving down this very dark tunnel.
I'll gobble lead the way if no one has any objections.
Inga will be like basically right next to you because she'll be like trying to sniff out the path with her wolf snoot.
Wolf snoot.
I suppose I'd take a minute and tuck my beard into my pants just so it doesn't get filthy as we're making our way through the tube.
All right.
Oh my god.
That visual
Oh
is
my
really
God.
There's a moment.
Oh my god.
Don't look at me.
This is
the
fantastic.
curtains and the drapes are the same thing at this point.
It's all one mass of hair, fur, and this boy. Which does raise the question, because as you are walking into this very dark tunnel, who amongst you can see in the dark? What is the dark vision situation? Okay, so not Minerva and not Inga.
I do not have dark vision as a dog.
Okay.
No.
Do you have it as
Can-
a centaur? I
That's
don't
a
think
good
so,
question.
right? What was that, Nassim?
I could grant them both with dark vision.
Ooh. Yeah.
I-
Twilight.
Ew.
Cleric.
Ooh.
My
Yeah.
eyes of the night.
Yes.
Whoa. Shit. Are you doing that? What does that look like?
Yeah, I have dark vision that ranges like 300 feet, and I can share that ability with up to 2 willing creatures that I could see within 10 feet of me, and it lasts for an hour, and that's it.
So we all have dark vision. Cool.
Wow.
High five.
I also took
Killer.
dark vision as a spell, but I am currently a dog.
Wait, did you
Um,
say 300 feet?
That's
Mhm.
absurd.
She sees
far.
all, like literally everything.
I can see everything.
God.
Matt Twilight LASIK, just
All right. Well, F. Is there any like visual effect when you share this, Xena?
I think there's a brief moment because pretty much whenever she channels her abilities, she kind of glows from within. So there's a moment where her eyes spark this like silver light, and she'll place a hand, like a little pat on Wolfie, and arm on the shoulder of Minerva.
Mhm. Very cool.
And then suddenly, boo, your pupils get huge.
Whoa! Yeah, and all of a sudden you can see that this tunnel continues for a very long way. It must cut almost entirely under this hill. And you do see probably about 100 feet down or so, there is like a T intersection where there's a hole that goes upwards. And you can see that there are like some frayed ropes and like the shattered, rotted remains of maybe a bucket that has fallen to the ground. So like maybe this was a well upward. So you can see once you get directly underneath it, yeah, it's about a, let's see, 15-foot climb up this tube towards, well, something up there. The room is definitely dark. Up above, so you can't really make out any features.
Does the rope seem sound? Give it like a little
No,
test.
it's definitely
Oh.
like this rope was here a while and they let it just rot, and since you know the water was frozen over, they had no use for it.
Let's see.
And of course the well itself is slick with ice, so it is going to be a tough climb.
Let's see who's strong. Xena, are you strong?
more so
sir.
in mind than in body, but it's fine.
My heart is very strong.
Yeah.
Divine strong.
My belief in friendship and
Oh, no.
Can we, from down below, looking up, can we see where that rope is tied off?
Yeah, you can see, or yeah, it would probably be suspended to like a hook in a stone ceiling, and the ceiling appears to be another 10 feet or so. So the room up above, yeah, it's pretty tall.
Is there any light coming from that room particularly?
No, there's no light whatsoever. But you would also know, I think, pretty handily, Duergar can see in the dark, since
Right.
they are underground creatures. You would also probably know that they do have the ability to grow larger, because you got a 20 on that check. So, like, as a battle tactic, they can enlarge themselves, which might explain also the 10-foot ceilings.
Interesting.
Well, who's the tallest and who's the lightest?
Well,
So yeah, Inga will return back into her centaur form, and as a centaur, she is 6'9". She will also take out a climbing kit, which has pythons and
Yes.
and rope,
kind of
and
noisy.
she will
It is a little noisy.
for sure.
Maybe
Yeah.
maybe we could throw the rope through that hook and then do a. Minnie, you got a magic hand, maybe.
Oh, wouldn't that be nice, young man? But I do have a prestidigitation. She licks her thumb and just wipes off some seaweed.
Not. Goodness. I'll do you one better. Is the rope and the hook already set up?
The rope is, though the rope seems like it'd snap if you put any weight on it.
Oh no, I mean Inga's, like for her climbing kit.
Yeah, probably. Do you have like a little grappling hook rope thing? Probably.
I don't think she has. I don't think it comes with a grappling kit. I think it comes with like 10 pythons, and actually, let me look it up.
I'll give you a grappling hook.
All right, we got a grappling hook.
You're third level adventurers. You've got a goddamn grappling hook if you want one.
So
Fuck yeah.
I will grab onto it, look up, and be like, "Hold on, I'll be right back." and will basically say ciao and disappear into a flutter as I cast Misty Step up to the top of the well.
That's some magic.
Neat.
And I will roll a stealth check when I get up to the top, just
Okay.
in case.
Sure. So you're gonna like try and Misty Step and like stealth combine. I'm into that. I think that'll work.
Just to be able to attach the grappling hook to the side of the well so they can use it to climb out.
Yeah. So go ahead and roll me that stealth check though, because otherwise some stuff might happen.
21.
Okay. So as you like boop out of this well, and then you immediately make it so like you kind of land at the top and maybe like roll off to the side. So you're like, you know, putting the stones of this well in between you and the rest of the room. You see, this hall is devoid of decoration. A frozen well stands near a hallway to the east. Well, that's where you are. And 3 iron cages are pushed against one wall. One contains a malodorous ogre with rotting.
Oh.
Sorry, malodorous ogre. My God, that's a word for a stat
That's a
block.
word.
A malodorous ogre with rotting, half-frozen skin and an empty right eye socket. It seems to like be muttering and kind of pacing back and forth in this cage, very agitated. Another cage holds a pair of nervous goats. The third cage is empty. Leaning against a wall near the cages is a wooden dog sled with ice clinging to it. And you do see that there are 3 ways out of this room. You could go to a hall to the south, a hall to the east, and then there is an exit to the northwest. You also see that on one side of the room, there's a drawbridge that is currently lowered and then meets those 2 big, like, wooden doors that you clearly saw from the outside. So there is a very large zombie ogre that is in this cage that you have managed to avoid the attention of with your 21 stealth. But you get the sense that if it sees you, it's going to freak out.
Well, here we are.
The rope.
Yeah, you can reach up and put the hook very quietly in the hook, but you do know if your companions make noise coming up here, I mean that thing is probably gonna hear it.
As I put the hook up there, I will like wave my hand and just kind of do like a stopping motion without trying to say anything, like
Oh, good. Gob
Gob's
is doing
like,
raise
raise
roof hands. Yeah, good.
So like, you want us to come up, right? Like,
Is it party up there?
There's a party up there.
We thought we were playing now. We party.
I think we pick up on it now. I kind of gesture. Do you want to come back down? And then kind of question what?
Shrug emoji.
Yeah, I mean, I think
Uh,
you've gotten the rope and the hook and the thing. So if you wanted to slide down, Veronica, I think you could probably do so. I would ask you to make another stealth check, though.
I want to mind link with Veronica so that
What
she
the
doesn't
fuck?
have to.
How is
Yeah.
that?
she is God. Like,
Okay, I'm sorry.
Psychic as hell.
Okay, take a step. What is that? Is that an ability, a spell? What is this?
It's an ability. When you use your mind link, you speak telepathically to a creature you can see. I use an action to give that creature the ability to speak telepathically with me for an hour. And the effect is taken away if I use it on someone else.
Oh, damn! So you can
this
just
is
open up. This is amazing. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks, Tasha. Yep.
Yeah.
That
I
cauldron.
basically-
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. As you start to make your way back down, but before that, you hear kind of a echo start to get louder into your head, and it's Xena. She's probably done this to you before, but she goes, "What do you see up there, friend?"
Xena whispers in her mind, even though no one else could hear it but you. There's a zombie troll up here.
Hmm.
I don't really know if it's a good idea for everyone else to come up here because it might just lose its mind seeing us.
I can make my way up before the rest and put it to sleep, if that might make the journey back up smoother.
I guarantee you it will. It seems very agitated.
Xena for president of the party.
Right. Xena wins.
Listen,
Like Xena, warrior princess of dark vision and mind links. Done. Like,
Yeah, so basically, stay where you are, but bring the hook down to me so I can meet you up there.
Yeah, so you can lower that down to the rope there. All right. And Xena, are you telling anyone you're doing this, or are you just fucking going for it?
Yeah, since we're down here, I think I can whisper quietly enough to everyone what Veronica saw up there and what the plan is. Sage, I don't know if you heard since you stepped away, but okay. Yeah, so that's the plan. Stay put. We will give you the all clear once the creature has been put to sleep.
Damn. All
And I
right.
start climbing.
Yeah. I'm gonna say, you have the rope. You have a pretty good situation here, so you can just make your way up. And you can peek your little eyes over the top of this well here, and you do see, this agitated ogre zombie pacing back and forth in this small little cage.
Cool. Then yeah, I'm gonna cast sleep onto that bad boy.
All right. So sleep is a little weird. I believe you roll dice to determine how many hit points
Yeah.
worth of creatures you can affect.
D8 or something like that.
Yeah. Let me
Yeah,
pull
it's
it up.
5d8.
All right.
My goodness.
So roll
Will it do it for me?
5d8.
31.
Okay. So you can affect 31 points of creatures. Yeah. So you look at this pacing ogre zombie here. And what does it look like when you cast sleep? We haven't seen too much of Xena's magic yet. So do you have a signature?
It's always like a little flash glow, like her skin, since it's that peachy tone, glows a little bit orangey, and this soft warm light starts to like resonate from her, but her eyes like flash this silver white light.
It's like you're a Himalayan salt lamp.
You're just begging for
Powerful
character
magic.
art.
Powerful magic.
it's so soothing. I love
so
it.
soothing, such ambient light.
Yeah.
And yeah, you send these coursing waves over, and you see this ogre who has clearly had a hard time of it, maybe already sustained some damage. Pieces of them have been like ripped off, and they are just not in prime physical shape. This ogre turns towards you and catches its attention with this one remaining eye. It looks at you, and it looks like it's about to like freak out, and then that amber wave like of light kind of hits it, and it just sort of
Is that the sound it makes?
yeah, and you see some like, a tooth kind of falls out of its mouth as it like cocks ahead towards you. And then there's a big like thudding sound as this ogre just sits down on its butt against the wall, and there's a like a very nasty, wet kind of snoring sound that starts to come out of this creature.
Good night,
Oh.
sweetie.
Yeah.
And with that, I think all of you can make your way up the rope as you begin to infiltrate to this Duergar fortress. And that's where we're going to stop for today. Thank you all so much for joining us. Episode 1. Everybody's still alive. Great.
Stay
We'll
alive.
see next
We
time
all
how it
got backup
goes.
characters.
But before we do our sign-offs, we have to do a dice giveaway. Bah, 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 bah. We're going to be pulling the winner. So once again, we are giving away this beautiful set of mirror image dice from RPG Dice, handmade by Joe. So these wonderful beauties. So let's pull that winner.
Mr. Michael!
Mr. Michael, let us know. Let us know if you're here in the chat. Confirm, and we can get those details from you. Congratulations on this beautiful set of dice. Very, very cool. So thank you all. This has been a great time starting off this campaign. I am so excited to see where it goes from here. It just gets spicier and spicier. But yeah, let's go around and do some outros. I have been your Dungeon Master, Celeste Konowich.
I've been your North fighter, Gob Herkenstone.
I am Katie. I've been playing Minerva Tinkerbobble and Jingle, human wizard and little fox boy.
And I'm Nassim playing Xena Orendi, your Kalishtar cleric, Himalayan salt lamp, to take all the pain away.
Oh, yes.
And I'm Vincent playing Veronica, your warlock with the misty steps of goodness.
Yes. I think
And I am Sage, who
Nope,
S
I did
is
it wrong.
before V.
True, my bad.
alphabet is hard. Alphabet is hard.
It's so hard.
I was just so excited.
Yeah.
Your Circle of Stars druid, Inga Selenin.
Yes. So thank you all once again for being here. We will be back in 2 weeks. So every other week we are playing an episode of Rime of the Frostmaiden, which means that we will be back on December 30th, which is also Sage's birthday. So it's gonna be a very fun game. So make sure to be here on the 30th for the second episode. I mentioned this during session 0, but I'll say it again. All episodes of this show are going up on our YouTube channel. So just search the Venture Maidens on YouTube if you want to recommend this show to a friend. If you have a DM who you know is going to be running Icewind Dale, Rime of the Frostmaiden, let them know. Check out the videos. Also, we will be publishing this in podcast form way in 2021. So don't wait around for this as a podcast form. It will eventually be happening, but no time soon. So next week on the channel, we are going to be taking a little December break. So we will be dark next week from the main campaign, which is on the 23rd. But you can catch us, of course, on the 30th. It will be here.
And on Friday, I am running a holiday special for the Rising Hunger cast. So if you would like to see more horrific winter-based theme goodness, then be sure to tune in this Friday from 6 to 8:30ish PST as we do a little holiday Yuletime special.
Little Yuletime magic, creepy magic. And of course, please do make sure to follow us on social media everywhere at Venture Maidens, especially on Twitter, Instagram, to keep up with the latest, all the good stuff happening. If you enjoyed the show, please make sure to like, subscribe, follow, and make sure to tell a friend because you are helping us grow the show each and every time. So thank you so much for being here, and until next time.
Wait, what
did
is
you
it
say?
again?
Yeah, what
Stay
are we-
frosty.
No,
Stay
stay
frosty.
frosty.
Okay, so until
Alright.
next time, stay frosty. Stay frosty, everybody. All right, bye-bye.